Hey, how you going? Been a while. This is Steve. Welcome to the workshop and it's Woodworking Masterclass. And I just felt I just had to come on and do a stream today because we just clocked up 100,000 subscribers. So we've hit the 100K mark, which took me nearly 10 years of hard slog, and your patience and involvement. So thank you all. Big clap to everyone out there. Really appreciate it. It was a mark that I wanted to make, and yeah, been a long time coming. When I look at some YouTubers and they're out there and they're up there for about 2 years and they hit 100,000 and 200,000 and what have you, but I've done it with your help and without any extra media or buying subs or whatever the marketing process is. So I'm very proud to announce organically we've hit 100K. And I thought I'd just bring you up to speed with what I've been doing. I haven't been slack. Thank you. The number of people that sent me emails or messages on Facebook or YouTube asking how I was, because they were concerned I haven't been on for a while. Everything's fine. Everything's absolutely fine. It's just I've been very busy on converting another workshop I have on my property into a classroom, because I'm thinking of going back in and running small classes. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. So I've been up there sorting that out, and I've got a couple of workbenches to make. In fact, we might even video some of that stuff, and working on projects. But let me just turn the phone on so I can get chat up and we can see what is actually happening. Have we got any chat there? T-Bone, g'day mate! And you're one of them. You're one of the long-enduring or the long-suffering ones. So thanks, mate. I appreciate your support. Let me just get out of this so I can go on to that. And we have live chat. And I think everything is working. If I move my hand, I should move my hand up there in a minute. Yep, no, that's all good. Yeah, so what I've come up with, as I said, 100K was a milestone that I wanted to reach. There are a couple of other things I want to do now, but I can do those as well, which is lovely. But what I thought about was I get a lot of messages and a lot of comments on the videos I put up. And, oh, look, if I had the equipment you've got, yeah, I could do that too. And it got me to thinking, yes, I will say I'm absolutely blessed with the equipment that I have and the tools that I have. And I really thank everyone that's supported me over the last 10 years. There's been Heron Forbes and Gregory's and Carbotech, Woodworking Machinery Plus, Lee Nelson, H&T Gordon, Harold and Saxon, Colin Clinton Tools, Tormek, Robert Sorby. There's so many people, Viva, and they have been very, very supportive, and I really appreciate their input, and I certainly would look forward to and enjoy working with them as well into the future. And I love using their tools. I honestly do. I think they're fantastic. But coming back to my original thing that I said, a lot of people say, oh, I could do that if I had the tools you've got. I'm not saying they couldn't, but it's been because I've been doing it for so long that I can do a lot of the things that I'm doing. And it wasn't until recently that I got to thinking, and this flies in the face of everything commercial, and in no way, shape or form is this belittling any of the support that I most graciously have been given. But I think the happiest I was at woodworking was when I started out, I don't know, say 30 years ago, or maybe more. Well, I started woodwork around 40 years ago, but when I started to really understand fine woodworking, I'd had a couple of factories of my own. I'd run a huge factory before, which put through a huge amount of work a week. But on my personal journey, it was when as I referred to in the past when I met an incredible guy called Jeff Hanna, who taught me and shared his knowledge with me with fine woodworking. And in those days, I had very limited financial resources. In fact, I can tell you now, I couldn't afford his lessons sometimes, and I had to rob people to pay Paul and put off paying this just so I could travel 160 kilometres or 100 miles to get to his workshop, spend the day there and then drive 100 miles back. And in fact, one day I had my son with me and we ran out of, the battery blew up and I thought that'd be all right, and we ran out of battery power and fuel on the way home. And those of you that are in Australia know what the bush can be like on very dark nights. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The reason is, I think I was so happy back then because I had nothing, but I was learning to use what I had and build my skill set up. So that notwithstanding, hello Jared, thank you mate, appreciate it. And g'day Louise. Anyone who says that honestly haven't tried their hand at serious woodworking. It was a limited tool. So anyway, in the last couple of days, or not last couple of days, last few weeks, I haven't, honestly, I can say this with hand on heart, I've never trolled the woodworking channels to see who's on or what people are doing or anything like that. Rather, I've preferred, I have referred to some of them and I have looked at them, but I haven't been in there to rip any of their stuff off or, try and hang on their coattails. But the other day I thought, oh, well, what's happening in the woodworking area? And I got two ends of the spectrum. I got a chap who I've never met, what's his name? Steve Ramsey. He's got a site with well over 1 million, I think he's going for 2 million viewers now, called Woodworking for Mere Mortals. And then the other one is Paul Sellers, who has woodworking masterclasses. And no, I didn't rip his name off. I think we registered at about the same time. And how I came up with Woodworking Masterclass was there's a show in Australia that's been going for about 15 years now called MasterChef. And they used to have, on Fridays, they used to have cooking masterclasses. And I remember we were lying in bed watching it one night and I said to my wife, Sue, I said, how about I start a YouTube channel or something and I call it Woodworking Masterclasses, because I'm sure people would like to know. And I had seen Paul Sellers before then, but it wasn't until, it must have been about 6 months later, I realised he was Woodworking Masterclasses. But apart from, I've never met the man either, but I have had correspondence with his office because I sometimes get emails for people that want to join his organisation or emailing membership lists and what have you, and I just forwarded them on and wished them well with that. But they were the two people that really impacted me when I was having a look on the net the other day. So you've got Steve Ramsey down this end, which is very much DIY woodworking, and you've got Paul Sellers on the other end of the scale, which is very traditional hands-on hand tools. And I got to thinking about it, and I was watching both of them, and the one that I watched Steve Ramsey do was how to get into woodworking on the cheap. And I got to thinking about that, and then I was watching Paul Sellers and seeing what he does, and I thought, well, there has to be a happy medium there. And that's when it made me realise my journey in woodworking and how it's sort of expanded and deviated over the last 40 odd years. And I thought, all right, I want to go back to basics. So that's what I've done. And I'm going back to basic tools. And I'll be running classes. I might even do these as YouTube videos as well. But just a basic Stanley hand plane. My favourite one, for no other reason that I like it, is a 5 1/4. This is a number 3 I picked up on eBay for, I think it was $70 delivered or something or other. These are brand new block planes that I bought a lot of those, but you can buy them at Bunnings, 165, Total Tools I think are 230, Trade Tools might be 195 or something or other. But very basically, when you compare it, and these are the comparisons I want to give you. Okay, that's a Veritas NX60. I'm not sure if they still make them. This one is $750 Australian. This one's $160 Australian. This one was $80 or under $80 on eBay. This one was just under $900. Now of the two, yes, this is an excellent plane. It is a gorgeous plane. I love this plane. But you can do just about as much with this as this. If you've got the cash and you want to splash out, buy that, you'll have it forever. That's the Lee Nelson bronze cast plane, and it would be one of my favourite planes. I absolutely love it. Anthony, I still do, honestly. But what I want to do is show people how you can get into woodworking without having to spend a fortune and still do lovely things. Now, the chisels I use are gorgeous. They are fantastic. Harold and Saxon. This is a very budget price set from a tool shop, so I'll be using these. The squares that I use, I have Colin Clinton measuring tools, and they're fantastic. I love them. You may not be in that situation, but you want to get into woodworking, so you can get just a little combination square, which will give you right angles. Sharpening stones. I've literally got thousands of dollars worth of sharpening equipment, but for these particular videos, this, I'll open up, here you go. This is a $47 or $43 stone I picked up from the local hardware shop. So I'll be sharpening just using this. It's a $5 hammer. And what I want to do, it's a $50 saw. You might be able to get cheaper ones. But what I want to do, and the project initially, will be to make this toolbox that will have all these tools, and you will make this toolbox using these tools. And inside, whoops, I'll show you what you can fit in here. Let me just move all this out of the way. I mean, this is a prototype one. And yep, I've got a lot of mistakes in this one. So the one I'll have that people can build will be slightly different and better. But this is, you've got to start somewhere. So initially, this will be a mitered top, like that. And a lot of the tools you can actually make yourself. So that's your sharpening stone. And the sharpening stone will actually fit in the top there. So that's something I want to get done this afternoon. To make this box, it was one length of timber. I cut it in half and then I chiseled out the inside to fit this. It's a little bit loose, but it's good enough for these purposes. So inside, I'll have tools that you can mount in the top of the box. And then the first tray, you've got a mallet head, which you'll make using these tools. I've got a hammer. I've got a little bit more than I need in here, but I just wanted to see how many tools I could fit in there. There's a dovetail saw, A sliding bevel, which you won't need, but you can make a dovetail jig, which I'll show you. A marking knife. That's one tray. And then the tray underneath, I've got 4 chisels, 2 screwdrivers, 1 flathead and 1 Phillips head, a little pair of pliers, it's a sharpening gauge, which you don't really need, but I like to have it there, and a sanding block, so there'll be no fancy sanders or anything like that. And then in the bottom, I've got a block plane, I've got a 5 1/4 plane, I've got the handle to the chisel, I've got a mortise and tenon, not a mortise and tenon, a marking gauge, which again, I will make one similar to this using these tools. And then that's, get up there. Don't want to play the game, there you go. That's the sliding bevel. And a card scraper. Also, what I want to involve in this is all sorts of different joinery. So for example, the box itself will be dovetailed. Then inside, these raised sections for the shelves to fit on will be mitered. And some trays will be nailed and butt joint. Others will be nailed and a lap joint, which that isn't a lap joint, by the way. And I'm thinking somewhere along on the top, or maybe in the top of the box, I'll put an oval cabochon with parquetry background with marquetry of a rose or seashell or something simple. So by building this simple toolbox, and we'll put all it back in just to show you it wasn't done with smoke and mirrors, you will get the basics of woodworking. And then if you decide, oh, I want to make, I don't know, I want to make a drawer, I want to make a table with a drawer in it, you can actually look at the joints that you've done on this box and then recollect, oh, how did I do that? Oh, that was done this way, that was done that way. And you can just look back and figure it out from there. Now, there's no set purpose for these things. They can go in any which way, I'm thinking. Oops. Okay, that one goes in the top, didn't it? Next one. Or hopefully get them to fit a bit better. There we go. Actually, that can go there. That should have gone in the bottom one. Go there. That can go there. That can go there. That can go there. There you go. Oh, I didn't put that in. That fits in the bottom. Can we put it in the top there? No, that'll do for the moment. But that's it. And then you've got a little toolbox. Not only have your tools in, but also all the skill and knowledge you've learnt with doing all the joints. So that's the situation I'm at the moment with what I want to do. And I might see if I can glue this up. But let me have a chat. I've been talking for so long. Oh dear. Michael, g'day mate, how are you? Yeah, I watch those channels too, great stuff. Hey Vince! How are you? I'm back. So what I want to do here, okay, I'm going to do some things on this particular box which make it easier for me. And that's what I want to do. As I share what I'm doing, I'll show you alternatives. What I want to do with this, if you'll notice, I've got holes there, and also holes in the ends. And what I'm going to do there, because I have them, is these little ball bearing pressure things. I've got to drill this out, and that goes in there, and they sit flush except for the ball bearing, which is spring loaded. So when I push this down, it's going to have, which I've got a rebate in, which we might do that now. Going to have this, and it sits over there, and so the ball bearing will then pop into there, and that'll hold that. And I've also got a way of holding this together so the top doesn't come flying off. They're simple things you can pick up. No, I don't know about the loaded ball bearing catches, but you might be able to pick them up at the hardware shop. And you can add your own things. The handles for this toolbox I actually blacksmithed, and I might even do a video on how I did that if someone wants to have a go at doing that. So that's it, that's the new direction, 100K. I still will be doing other things, and I'm still making harps and still making boxes, so I will be using all sorts of other bits of gear when I'm doing other projects, but I would like to put together a series where we can just do basic woodwork with basic tools. And if anyone's interested in the Brisbane area, I'll be running classes to make this toolbox as well. So drop me a message if you like, and I'll tell you what it costs and what you need to bring and what skill level you need. In fact, absolutely zero skill level. There you go. Can't be easier than that. Now I've just got to drill a couple of holes in here, which I shall do. Oh dear. Even as far as drilling goes, I'll use an egg beater. So that there will be things, you know, most people do have a crosscut saw. Most people have a cordless screwdriver or drill. So, you know, there will be other tools I will use, but they won't be hugely sophisticated one-off ones. I was going to say, I'm not sure if this one's going to fit, but we will see. There we go. It's been a fun journey though. Definitely been a fun journey. Oh, let's give that a knock. Oh, while we're on the thing, I've got to show you these. Where's? I'll show you as soon as I've done this. Okay, we go on the other end of town here. Everything I said, that was true, but this is the other fun side. My good friend Trent from Harold and Saxon sent me up these the other day. Now look at that for a mallet. Isn't that just the most astonishing, beautiful mallet? This is one I've been using for many, many years, and he made me this one. He said, no, use it. I said, you're kidding, I can't use that, it's too beautiful. So that's, there you go, Harold and Saxon, and crow's ash on the handles. I think we call it Coca-Cola wood, it's some sort of acacia skins, and coach wood on the inside and crow's ash on the handles. And then, that is the nicest strop I've ever seen. That's one of his strops. And that is absolutely beautiful. I don't know what the cowhide is. It's some sort of special cowhide, but yeah, absolutely lovely. So even though I might do some basic ones, I still really do enjoy nice tools. Trent, mate, good on you. And g'day Terry too. I love your planes as well. Oh, dearie, dearie, dear. So, here we go. Where would I do with that bit? Take that down a little bit more. Whoop. Oh. Now I'm going to do this. Oh yes, I do. I shall do that later, because it means going out to another machine. Boom, boom, boom. What have we got? I've just had to check what. Sounds like the goose is going off outside. I don't know, perhaps it's not deep enough. Who knows? Nope, that's good enough. Let me just go and get I'll be back in a tick. I've just got to make this a little bit deeper on the shoulder. Hoping that's going to be all right now. Yeah. I'm not good enough to use it. I'm not going to use it. But it is nice to have. It makes me feel smarter just having it around. Oh, look at that. My missus just pokes her head in and tells me I'm smart. You going to say hello to everybody? Did you lock them up or do you want me to lock them up?
Lock them up.
Did you, I heard Glory having a bit of a gash bag too.
Yeah, she decided she wanted to come and visit me. And I told her she was only the second most beautiful person in this house.
You being the first?
Of course.
Oh, there you go. Well, you've got to be top goose. You might as well be a goose.
Hey, might as well be a goose. Better than an old duck.
Oh, I don't know. You make a pretty good old duck.
Thanks, Dove.
That's all right. Oh, I love you. Oh, dear. You haven't said hello to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, there you go. No, hi, everyone. I get that in the morning. Morning, darling. How are you? You want a cup of tea? Oh, yeah.
Can't go anywhere without me cup of tea and Tim Tams.
That's it. Chocolate biscuit
Yeah.
hoarder she is.
Not a hoarder. I eat them. So do you.
Yeah, you hoard them in your
So
tummy.
do you.
No, I don't. I just take them away so you can't get them.
Oh.
And the best way to hide them is in my mouth.
In his tummy.
Actually, I tell you, it's good to have a bit of pudding, isn't it?
It is.
We
'cause
got
then
some-
when you get sick.
We had some weird thing the other day. It was,
Terrible.
it was just like a tummy bug.
Absolutely.
And so I said to Sue, it's good to have a bit of extra pudding. And that way, if you get crook, you don't look ill. Isn't that right?
That's right.
There you go, done. What have we got? Louise says, hi, Sue.
Hi, Louise.
Denford said, where's Sue? Oh, I'm back. Max, how are you, mate? He still calls you Mrs. Hay. He must be frightened of you. You scared him or something. She drives your brooms, mate. She could be a test pilot.
Thanks,
What?
darling.
Oh, did you see that eyeball? I know where you
You want to
sleep.
live to be another day?
Oh, sometimes, I don't know.
I'm going to cook dinner.
All right. Oh, you've already cooked it.
For the kids.
Oh. What aren't they eating ours? Isn't our food good enough for them?
No.
Oh, there you go.
Mum's got to do another different.
You bloody... I'm coming back to be your grandchild, I tell you. Be spoilt rotten.
All of them are.
Yeah, except me.
Oh,
What?
should I come back and tell them?
What, you bought me 6 bars of chocolate today? She did too. That's me 2 days supply. There we go, that should do what I want. Oh, that's good, Max. It's nice to know chivalry is still alive and well. I'm just trying to force this in, and I think I've done it. I don't know if that's the right size one or not now. I'm starting to second guess myself. Yeah, no, hang on. It might not be the right size after all. Ba-doo. But before I can do that, I have to finish this one off, then redesign the other one, and tidy this blinking shed up. It is, even I think it's a mess. That's how messy it is. And Theo's over in the fjords of Sweden demonstrating turning. So he's having a good time. He can have it. Oh, I'll get seasick in the bathtub. But it's good. It's good. There we go. Let's hope that's going to do it. I just want to get these so they're flush. That's pretty good. This is Western red cedar, that's why it's easy to do it with. So there we go. So that's in there like that. Do it to this one. Oh, that's handy. Oh, no, yes. I wonder where the other one had got to. This is it. Max, don't tell me your shed looks like a bomb. Oh, I don't know. You tell me, Max. There you go. Oh, that bench is okay. That one's not too bad at all. But the rest of it's a bit, there you going. You know me, mate. When I'm on a project, I just got to go with it, and I haven't got time to stop and clean up and do all those other... I haven't even had time to drink me coffee. That's how good it is today. Oh. I will draw the line at hide glue. Even though I like hide glue, I'll be using modern PVAs, I think. Oh, I know what I got. I know what I got. If I've got the right size one. One down from that would be good. That will do. Oop. Bum, bum, ba, bum. I don't know. I'm just going to work for me or not. No. Why is it so? Can you remember that, Max? Why is it so? Oh, Julius Sumdermiller. And Trevor, if you're watching, I hope you're getting better, mate, and everything's sorting itself out for you. Oh, dear. Oh, I know what I can do. If I've got one here. Whoop. No, I took it up to the other shed. It's what annoys me of having so many workshops. You basically got to have a set of tools in each workshop, or you end up in this situation where you can't do what you want because it's up in the other workshop. And let me just take this one out of here. That'll do. We'll do this. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. Oh dear. There we go. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. Holy dooly. How do I get out of that? There we go. Good morning, Andy. G'day, Cam. The wise ninja. Welcome along. I'm trying to find... There we go. Is that the one I want? What have we got? At the moment I'm just putting together the lid for a prototype toolbox that I want to build that will house basic tools that people that want to get into woodworking and don't have the opportunity to have all the lovely shiny things I've got can still make things and enjoy their pastime without having to have a huge amount of tools. Yeah, I guess what I would prefer is people spend extra money on the timber. One of the things that disappoints me greatly is, and this is funny because the yellow pine Paul Sellers uses, I've never used it and I really don't know what it is. He calls it yellow pine. And, it's beautiful. It just planes nicely, it's crisp. It appears to be hard. It's got good growth rings in it. Planes nicely, as I said. And in Australia particularly, people might think, that's radiata pine, which is our common pine of use here, and it will destroy your soul because it's horrible. It doesn't plane nice, it doesn't particularly look nice, and it doesn't behave very well. It's all right if you knock out some DIY projects, but if you want something that you want to keep substantially for any length of time, just the stuff you get out of the big box warehouse is basically it's rubbish. That's not saying to say people don't use it. My preference would be not to. Down the track there is better options of furniture grade pine, but the run-of-the-mill stuff that the hardware shop carries isn't furniture grade. It's not even standard and better, I don't think. So yeah, if it was a question of spending a lot of money on a plane and buying rubbish timber, or spending a little bit less money on a plane and buying good timber, in the long run, it's going to be better for you. And it's even going to be better for the tool manufacturers that have supported me all over the years. So I don't want them to think I'm coming down on them and going, don't buy expensive tools. No, if you can afford them, buy them. They are expensive because they're better and for a good reason. But if you are building something and you're using a very budget grade timber, and I know it's fashionable at the moment, a lot of people are using pallets. Now, the thing with pallets is, I would say 99% of the time the timber is green. It's definitely not dry, and so it's going to move, it's going to split, it's going to be unpleasant to work with, and depending on what has been stored on those pallets, it can be toxic as well. So if you're working with the nice timber, you're going to have a nice experience. I don't know how this is going to work, I really don't. You're going to have a nice experience working with it, and therefore you'll enjoy it. And because you enjoy it, you'll want to do it more often. Because you want to do it more often, guess what? You're going to eventually want better tools. So it's like you hear, and I used to think it was a huge, huge waste of resources. But cooks, when they're cooking in the kitchen, I mean, if I was going to use wine, when I cook something, I'd use cooking wine, $1 a bottle and that. And they go, no, use the good stuff, $20 a bottle. Yeah, why? My palate isn't that well adjusted, I could tell the difference, I don't think. But because you get a far better result. And the better your results, the more encouragement you give yourself, and the more you're going to do it, the more you're going to enjoy it, the more you're going to get involved. One of my sons actually at the moment is starting to formulate and work with sauces and dips, barbecue dips, chili braisers and what have you. And he's using good ingredients. And by golly, you can tell. I was around at his place today and he gave me some and it's yummo. But if you can start with the best you can afford at the time, you're going to enjoy what you're doing a lot better. And that goes with anything. Playing golf, playing tennis, going swimming, going surfing. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying go down the track and buy tools from certain places that, you can buy a hand plane. A friend of mine was saying his son rang up and complained because he bought a hand plane from Bunnings for $15 and it was rubbish. And he went on to tell him, I've got some hand planes here that are well over $1,000, nearly $2,000. And they're not rubbish. So there's a fine line, but check the second-hand market. There's some really good ones out there. And then start working with nice timber. I know when I started making furniture, I knew no better. I was using hardwoods because I was pretty close to a hardwood mill. And to me, wood was wood. And that doesn't meet, and that's upsetting. Oh well. I should have checked that before I put it together. And then it wasn't until I started working with Jeff, and he introduced me to a timber we've got here in Australia called cedar, red cedar, or Tuna australis. And I thought, how long's this stuff been going on for? It's gorgeous, it's light, it glues well, it planes well. Oh! And so now I don't particularly like working with hardwoods. When I say hardwoods, I don't mean hardwoods as in the botanical definition. I mean hardwoods as in hard, splintery, heavy chunks of wood. I prefer not to do that. I don't know how I'm going to go here, but I'll have a go. I'm just going to try a bit more pressure. Is that too much? No, that'll do. One of these very sensitive sort of things. It'll jump out or jump off at the drop of a hat. So I think that will do me. I'll just clean that off. And then tomorrow I can come down, and what I'll have to do then is I've got some work to do on that sharpening box so I can fit this. And when you're gluing up, take all the excess glue off if you can with water. Water's not going to hurt your job. In fact, a lot of times I'll wet a job down before I spray it or stain it or finish it because I want the grain to rise up so I can have a nice flat surface to put a finish on. Ah, you rotten thing. There you go. This is going to be a free floating lid, which means I'm not going to actually glue it onto the top. I'm going to put an apron around it so the lid can actually expand and contract and do all those nice things it's meant to do without giving me any grief. And I might just put some blocks on that. And then when it's dry, I can work it a bit better. Oh, so this is the box that's going to go in there. It's going to have these holes which I've got to recess in a minute, and the ball bearings will slot into there and clip on, and that's the top. And then how I want to fit that on, I might as well tell you now in case you don't watch me do it, or I might not do it, I don't know. It's either two of these knobs like that, with this screw going through the box. So this then will hold the top and the bottom together and also give me the leverage to pull it out of that insert there when I want to use it, or I haven't worked out which knobs I want to use yet. It'll either be those or those. And then I know this is a little bit oversized, so I can hand plane that to fit, and I'll put a chamfer down here so my fingers can go in and I can separate it. But I can't do that until tomorrow. But what I can do is, or can I? I can, but I'm not going to, because it'll involve chiseling, and that means bashing a hammer here, which is going to upset this, so I'll leave that for another day as well. I'll do that tomorrow. There we go. Oh, what have we got? I'm on there. Ba-dum. I just found out yesterday. Elmer's glues. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that about Elmer's glue, Daryl. Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it, Vince? Oh, you can get away with hoop pine. In fact, I've got some 303 sniper rifle Second World War gun cases that I made that I just found the other day. And yeah, they're all hand dovetailed, but that's kauri pine, and that's a bit different. Hoop pine's not too bad. You can get away with hoop pine, but fast-grown plantation pine, nah, give it a miss. Yeah, Better Homes and Garden, that's what gets me. Oh, listen, can I do this? Do you know how to use the woodwork? No, but I saw them do it on Better Homes and Garden, and it only took them 45 minutes with ad breaks. And it cost $95. Yeah, okay. Oh, dear. Yellow pine, yeah, but it's sort of doesn't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he calls it yellow pine. Darren. Oh, I'm going. Andy, can your son load the dishwasher? He's not living at home, mate, so I don't care. But they can't still do it here. I went in there the other day. I kid you not. As I said, Sue and I had a bit of a virus or something, so we weren't doing much. And the dishwasher was only going on once every 2 days because no one was eating very much. And there was a plate in the bottom rack, and it took up 3 dividers. Just plopped it in. I'm sure if he could have bent the plate, they would have got even more. Unbelievable. What else have we got? Vince, I worked out my issue with bloodwood and glue-ups. Apparently Titebond 3 has an acid in it that reacts poorly. Fix it. And that's what I'm using in the workshop. Vince, when I run classes, it's Titebond original, the little bottles. And if you want to slow the gluing process down, give it a squirt of water. It thins it out and just slows it up a little bit. But they claim, when I was talking to the guys in South Australia to bring this into Australia, that it has no creep. And to date, I have never had any creep out of this. Whereas I know, what's that other stuff? Aquadeer, is it Aquadeer? Yeah, Aquadeer, you get creep. There was another one out you used to get creep on, and I think it used to be called, terrible getting old, isn't it? Woodworker's Choice or something rather. You get creep out of that. But to date, yeah, I haven't had any problems with that. And in fact, the workbenches that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to make those out of blackwood, only because I've got a lot of blackwood. And they're going to be laminated like chopping boards. I'm going to use Titebond 2, this stuff. Oh. Here, yeah, premium wood glue. There you go. So that's what I'll be using on that. I still use Titebond 3 in the bee boxes because they're outside and they do, get a bit wet, so they've got to be waterproof. But that is about it. I can't think of anything else. So that's what I'm up to. Once again, thank you so much for your support over the past 10 years. Can you believe it? I don't think I've had a job that's lasted 10 years. But cracked the 100,000. I'm not that fussed about going to 200,000. To me, 100,000 was the go. I am branching off and doing a couple of TV shows. So I don't know how I'll go. What I would like to do would be some live streams while I'm making the TV show. And just to show you what goes on behind the scenes. I think I've mentioned that in previous videos. But, yep, that's it. Mainly to say hi. I'm still in the land of the living. We're doing things. Hope you're all well. Hope you're getting some projects done and enjoying yourselves and in good health. And for those of you that aren't, I hope you're coping okay and you do get better. But in the meantime, that's it. This is Steve pulling the shed down and saying, remember to keep it sharp, but more importantly, keep it safe. Look after yourself, be kind to each other. And I look forward to having your company in the workshop, at the workbench, again very, very soon. Till then, stay creative, keep out of mischief, look after yourselves, as I said. God bless. Bye for now.